Hello and welcome back to the channel. I don't know how to say this a different way, but Seven Brothers, they're back again. Yeah, indeed, Seven Brothers are back again with another one, a brand new one in fact, from the 7 series. Now by the time this comes out, it's probably been announced for about 10 days, 2 weeks or so, because unfortunately I've just had a crazy 2 weeks and didn't manage to review this immediately when it dropped. They were kind enough to send me a couple of cans of this and some cans of the name's gone out of my head. This is terrible PR. What am I doing? Texture Like Sun is the one I was after. I didn't actually have to look that up. Somewhere in the back of my brain that managed to rattle itself forward, which I did review last week. That was excellent, but that was a regular beer. This is the special one, and this is, and I always have to read off the label on these because they're always something absolutely just mad concept-wise. This is an Imperial, obviously, because everything's at 7% in the 7 series. Imperial Rhubarb and Cherry Berliner Weisse. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? We'll get right into it into 2 seconds, but first I just want to say I'm wearing the t-shirt again with the tash. This is a collaboration tee between good friends of the channel, Slice UK, and a bunch of other online pizza dudes. I think is probably the best description I can give. All in effort for raising funds for the Movember Foundation, testicular cancer awareness, all that stuff. And then it said just testicular awareness then, like people weren't aware they were a thing. That would be bad, wouldn't it? Anyway, you get the idea. These are charity tees, and wait till you see the back. Check your nobles. I mean, the artwork is just fantastic, so you fancy a nice tee with some cool stuff on it and help charity at the same time, you know where to go. Link in the description below if you fancy one of these. I don't make any money out of these, I'm just trying to support a good cause, so yeah, go check it out. Back to this though. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. For context, it's the end of the weekend. It's the US Grand Prix weekend, so it starts late. It starts in about an hour, so I'm going to be sipping this throughout the preamble to that after I've reviewed it. So yeah, glorious end to a weekend, I guess. So, before we crack into it, here is a quick look at the can. This one is by Brother Greg. We'll go through all this on the can in a bit, but basically the 7 series is to celebrate Seven Brothers Brewery being 7 years old. They're making 7 beers, 1 for each brother, all at 7%. I'm sure there's some more 7s in there somewhere, but for now, there is a look at the guy called Talking Rhubarb. And there is Greg playing football with Cherry and Rhubarb, and yeah, more incredible artwork by 7 Brothers. Let's get it open. It's pink. Oh, it's pink. Should be no surprise really, Rhubarb and Cherry, but I'm not sure I've ever had a 7 Brothers that doesn't look absolutely fantastic in a glass. Now, I was told there was some serious fruity bits in this beer, so just to be aware when drinking, but actually it looks like I've got a pretty clean can, because I can't see anything floating around in that. It's a bit hazy, as you would expect. Quite a lot of carbonation in there, but there's really not a lot in terms of physical matter as you often get on these fruity ones. There's a couple of tiny specks, but nothing real, but looks absolutely tip top, does it not? Right then, aroma time. Oh, it's got a real bready, Weiss beery kind of nose on it. Like, reminds me, it does smell like a Weiss beer. It's also got a bit of that kind of German bready lager nose to it. But then there's a sourness in there that's just like the fruited, like a legitimate fruited sour, not a bacterially introduced sour, if you like a real, just a sour fruit vibe that, oh, I feel like this is going to be absolutely top draw. Now, as always, 7 Brothers on the aroma are never really punchy. It saves it all for the taste. Don't know how they do it. Something to do with their technique, I would assume, because they all have this trait. Whereas on the nose, you can pick out stuff, but it's always a bit subdued. You always go, I don't know, like there's loads of stuff in there, but you think it's just going to potentially waver a bit on the taste, but it never does, or at least it hasn't yet. So let's get into it. Cheers. Whoa! That's tickling my taste buds. Wow. Oh, I say. Wow. I'm awake. I am awake. Wow, that is absolutely, oh, it's delicious. It's just delicious. If you don't like sour beers, the initial bite might be a bit much. It is properly sour, but oh my days, is it well balanced. There's so much in there. I know this is 7%, but that's going to go down an absolute treat. I'm looking at it longingly. I'm aware I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm just staring into this beautiful pink abyss because it's absolutely delicious. Right, loads of cherry in there. That tanginess of the rhubarb. Some of the Weisse beer traits are coming through, but also some of that kind of German lager breadiness. I'm not massively familiar with loads of Weisse beers and Berliner Weisses. I've had a few, but I don't know enough about them to really give you an absolute, this is like this is like that. So I'm just going to throw it out as I see it, because again, as always, there's no point me trying to masquerade giving you information that's not correct. This is just my interpretation so far. So, top to bottom taste test. Initially, it's got that real sweet sour thing, you know, you get with like sour sweets that are covered in sugar. You get that initial sweetness on the front of the tongue, but you also get a hint there's something sharp in there, something properly tangy. Was that right at the start? And then you get your first hint of rhubarb almost straight away. It's got the, yeah, just, it's like a well sugared rhubarb sweet up front really, if you kind of merge those two portions together. Middle phase, really, the cherry comes in there. Sour cherries, sweeter kind of maraschino cherries. They're both in there. It's got really quite a big breadth on that cherry front. They're really running out, but it's not, doesn't feel synthetic. It's not like cherry drop sweets or anything like that. It's like, it's real cherry in there. And then at the back, more bitterness as it hits the back of your taste buds. You know, that real jaw clenching thing. To be honest, now I've had a bit of it, it's not really doing the same thing, but initially that was really all up in there. And then to finish off, more rhubarb and cherry blended together, really nice fruity, and a bit of, I feel like you get a bit of that Weisse beer yeast flavour, but also a bit of the breadiness as well that I was talking about from kind of the German lager. So, I mean, that's just fantastic. Really is. Right. Let's take a look at the can. So, as I said before, 7 Brothers, 7 Series, Talking Rhubarb, 7%, 440ml can. And it says, and as it says on all of the 7 Series cans, it says, we're 7 this year, which is a special one for us, so we've decided to launch a series of 7 beers. 7 Brothers, 7 years, 7 beers, 7 unique ideas, all at 7%. This is hella dangerous at 7%. Does not feel like it. This is not gonna make the F1 preamble, let's be honest. This is gone nearly. So this is Brother Greg, Imperial Rhubarb and Sour Cherry Berliner Weisse, 7%, 440ml. Wow. It says, our bold take on this German style offers a fragrant fruitiness on the nose, top rhubarb on the palate, bolstered with plentiness of sour cherry puree. It's absolutely there. It's really in. 3.08 UK units, as it is with all these cans being 7%. Normal drink-aware stuff. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, 7 Brothers absolutely smashing it once again. I'll be up front, when I first started reviewing 7 Brothers beers, I felt a little bit inconspicuous because, as you probably saw on the tag on this video, it's promoted content now. They're not paying me to say this, but I did receive the beer, so I didn't pay for this, they sent it me. And after I reviewed my first few, I was feeling very suspect in that I never hated it. I still don't hate one. There have been some, I'm being honest in all my reviews, some of them are less my style than others, but this one, this I started a beer a year ago, I probably would have never considered, and it is absolutely, it's mind-blowing. Really top stuff. One of my favourites from the 7 Series so far, I think, this one. But you do need to be able to enjoy sour beers, even if it's not absolutely a sour, if that makes sense. So, while we've been chatting, has this changed at all? The nose has adapted a little as it's warmed up. I feel like the cherries come through a lot more on the nose now. It was quite subdued before, but it's really quite noticeable now. And then on the taste, oh yeah, when you put it down for a minute, that sourness gets you straight back again. Really interesting. Loads of that breadiness at the end. Sour cherry for days, really is. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's just got this malty sweetness, the breadiness that I keep talking about. Really rounds it out and keeps it planted, as I say so often, in real beer territory. Up front, it's not particularly beery, it's not very hoppy, not much malt front, it's very much sour cherry, which is always a bit of a concern when you're looking for what is effectively a proper beer. But the malt backbone on this is just incredible. And I think, before I hark on about it anymore, we'll leave it at that. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it if you haven't already subscribed, if you would be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.